Silver Creek, a quiet suburban neighborhood with white fences and manicured lawns. At the corner of Magnolia Street stood a modest little house. The owners were Jack and his wife, Sarah. They came here searching for peace. But soon, that peace would shatter, because three men picked the wrong house to mess with, and the wrong man to provoke. A combat veteran who had already survived war. What consequences will the three men face? Let's follow the flow of the story, experience it live like a video, and predict the final outcome together. Jack had served 12 years in the military. He never bragged, he never showed off. All he wanted was to mow his lawn, sip tea with his wife, and enjoy the quiet. Sarah was gentle, loved flowers, and only dreamed of tending her garden in peace. But when Richard Cole became president of the HOA, everything changed. New rules, surprise inspections, and worst of all, three men calling themselves enforcers. They wore matching palas, strutted around the neighborhood like special forces. But in truth, they were nothing more than bullies. Jack often caught them lurking near his house, snapping photos of trash cans, snooping into mailboxes. One day, Mrs. Miller, a 70-year-old neighbor, trembled as she told him, "They threatened to fine me just for leaving my old bicycle in the yard." Jack filed 2 complaints, but Richard Cole only smirked. "Stick to mowing your lawn, Jack. The HOA runs this neighborhood." The neighbors grew scared and stayed silent, until they came for Sarah. One morning, Jack was on a work call when he heard shouting outside. He stepped out and froze. Sarah was pinned near their car, surrounded by the three men. One waved a paper in her face, shouting, "Those hanging baskets are a safety violation." "Take them down now," Sarah, confused, tried to reason. "But they're just flowers." Before she could finish, one of them shoved her shoulder. She stumbled back, eyes wide with fear. Jack descended the porch steps, steady, calm, deliberate. His voice was low, cold as steel. "Step away from my wife." The clipboard thug sneered. "This is official HOA enforcement. You're making a mistake." Before he could finish, Jack twisted his wrist until the clipboard hit the ground. The man screamed. The second enforcer puffed his chest. "You just assaulted an HOA officer." But Jack's elbow cut him off. He collapsed on the driveway. The third swung wildly. Jack pivoted, drove his knee into the man's ribs. He dropped, gasping for air like a fish out of water. 3 bullies lay broken in Jack's driveway. One of them, shaking, grabbed his phone. "I'm calling the cops." Jack smirked. "Good, I've been waiting for this." When the patrol car arrived, Sarah had already turned on their driveway camera. Out stepped Officer Emily Reyes, an old comrade from Jack's service days. She looked at Jack, then at the 3 groaning men. Her voice was firm. "This isn't an HOA matter. This is assault." And he was defending his wife on his own property. At that moment, Richard Cole stormed onto the scene. Red-faced, yelling, "This is HOA business. I have authority here." But Emily shut him down cold. "No, sir. This is now a criminal investigation." The sound of handcuffs snapping echoed. The fake power of the HOA collapsed instantly. By that evening, the footage spread across the neighborhood forum. Headline: HOA thugs beaten by combat. Veteran after assaulting his wife. Neighbors finally spoke out. Mrs. Miller, furious. "They threatened me over a bicycle." A single mom, tearful. "They harassed me for leaving a stroller on my porch." The story spread like wildfire, and the silence of the community broke. The next morning, Richard Cole resigned. The HOA's finances were audited, revealing tens of thousands of dollars in fines. Missing. That evening, Jack and Sarah sat on their porch, sipping tea. Sarah smiled softly. "You didn't even break his sweat." Jack answered calmly, "I only want peace, but when I have to, I will stand up." Sometimes justice doesn't roar. It comes quietly. When a man defends the people he loves, and in Silver Creek, The whole neighborhood learned one lesson: never underestimate a veteran just because he wants to live a quiet life. Have you ever been bullied by an HOA or any group abusing power? Share your story in the comments. I read them all. And don't forget to follow this channel, because there are more real stories, dramatic, intense, about ordinary people forced to become heroes. This isn't just a story, it's a reminder: never underestimate a man who only wants peace.